everybody. Oh my God.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on, good people? I got a lot of energy today. Not sure why, but we're glad you guys are here.
Yep, glad you're here. Welcome to week 42.
42 of them.
52 weeks of
Yo,
focus.
it's 10 more weeks left in the year.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's almost Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
Yeah. We hope everybody had a productive week. As last week, we are going to try to get more efficient with videotaping our weekly videos, so we can get you in and get you out.
Oh yeah.
And keep it moving.
Yeah, keep it moving.
So this week's topic is
pushing
title.
Pushing
Title
through the
is
pain today, baby. We're pushing through the pain.
Pushing through the pain.
Internal, external, whatever you got going on. We're gonna give you some stuff to help you out with it. All right, because everybody got something going on.
Yeah, so there are some questions that I just want you to ponder on while the video's going on. So, have you ever wanted something so bad that you didn't care how bad it hurt you to get it? Have you ever been so sick that you felt you couldn't go on? Have you ever been so emotionally drained you walked around in a daze?
Hey, Bo.
There are so many types of pain that go on in your life that drain you mentally, physically, spiritually, and it drains those around you too.
Right.
And it's key that we recognize that pain and we conquer it before it takes over our lives.
Right.
Hey, did you have anything?
Yeah. So when it comes to pain, I think we have it comes with a negative connotation to it, and oftentimes we miss the blessing that comes through the pain and understanding, like, you know, that it's not always meant to hurt us. So,
Right.
Well, we want you to understand that it's not always meant to hurt us. But in other times it is, because we hard hit it. So, hopefully at the end of this video, you guys will be able to kind of navigate through whatever it is that you're going through a little bit better, or not. But we'll see. We'll see. So.
Yeah. So I'll take the first two. Babe will finish this out with the last two. 4 points total, as usual. And just going into the first topic or mini topic is constant pain is a warning. Again, that's the first topic, which is constant pain is a warning. As Romans 12:15 says, when others are happy, be happy with them. If they are sad, share their sorrow. So we see people in pain on a daily basis.
Right.
We're in pain on a daily basis. But how many times have you seen those, you know, your significant others or your friends in pain and you just kind of let them pass you by? Because you may not know how to deal with the pain they're going through, or you may not know how to help. But there are things that you can do to help them through that painful point in their life. And they may be grieving, they may be depressed, they may, you know, have anxiety issues, they may have physical pain because they may be physically ill. And everybody is dealing with some type of pain.
Everybody.
On a daily basis.
Everybody.
Some may cover it better than others, but everybody's dealing with something.
Right.
So pushing through pain is a common practice in American culture. There's narcotic addictions. There's addictions to you know, things like heroin and meth that kind of help people mask that pain and try to alleviate that pain. But most times that pain is not internal, but it's external, or you know, within.
Well, you said you mean external and then
external and internal.
Yeah, you had a little brain flip. What?
Yes,
it's talking about somebody here.
Anyway,
she said external.
Oh my God. I mean, whatever. Okay, keep focused, because you are taking the focus off of the first topic. All right, so and this is why so many illnesses are caught in a late stage. People fail, or they ignore the pain that they're going through, and it may be a serious health issue that's going on, and they ignore it until it's in the later stages, or it's not able to be cured. That's God created doctors, God created therapists, God created medication to help you with that pain.
Right.
So if you're not feeling like yourself, or you felt sick, or you felt you've had this constant pain in a certain area for at least even if it's 2 weeks, if it's 2 years, if it's 2 months, go to a doctor.
Yeah, we don't really go like that.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean us.
Oh my goodness.
But no, seriously, though, that's good. I like that.
So we need to learn how to slow down and to listen to what God is trying to tell us.
Mm-hmm.
So God may be trying to slow us down. He may not cause the pain, but there may be a reason behind why you're in pain or a certain type of pain.
Right.
Because he may be trying to get your attention. And just know that being in pain is not normal, that pain must be addressed. So if you're mentally exhausted, if you're physically exhausted, if you're spiritually exhausted, that pain, as I said, is a warning sign of things to come.
Mm-hmm.
Our bodies are very unique beings. If something's going haywire within some part of our body, it gives us a warning signal. And sometimes that warning signal is subtle, and sometimes it's debilitating when you gotta take time off work because you can't move, or your back goes out of nowhere, and you're like, well, what happened? But you've been under like mounds and mounds of stress at your job, or within relationships, and you wonder why your body shut down on you.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep in mind that no pain is wasted. God uses your pain to help others, and he will use you to bless others as well.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep in mind that when you have pain in your life, whether it's physical or you feel like it's mental, get some help or seek help, because you don't have to suffer alone. Although, some people may not have, healthcare coverage, there's some type of help that you can get, even if it's over the counter, temporary relief. No one deserves to be in constant pain.
Right.
I just know, I know there's certain type of pain I've dealt with. There's certain type of pain Babe's dealt with, and it's okay because we're human.
Yeah.
We're not Superman or Wonder Woman. Right. We're gonna have some type of shortcoming in our lives, and that's okay. But learn the warning signs and get help where needed. Mm-hmm. Did you have anything?
Just when it comes to constant pain, any kind of constant pain is not normal, like she said. Whether it be emotional, whether it be physical, if it's something that constantly is happening, like weeks, anything other than like a couple days, hey man, you need to try to look into that and figure out, hey, what's going on, especially if it's emotionally. God has a weird way, I know with me personally, of like having me just broke down with this heaviness, and it's just like, man, like what is this? What's going on with me? And sometimes it takes going to prayer. Sometimes it takes going to the doctor. Here lately, it takes going to the dentist, and I hate the dentist, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And shout out to Babe for she actually booked the appointment for me. I got a phone call, said, hey, you got an appointment. They didn't even set up no appointment. She set me up. So but like I said, just go get it checked out, guys.
Yes. All right, so moving into the second topic, which is God's view on pain. We don't really know what God's view on pain is because it's not talked about very often, because we try to mask it in front of others, and we try to act like everything's okay when it's not.
Right.
So going over to Romans 8:18, for I consider that the sufferings of the present life are not worthy to be compared with the glory that is about to be revealed to us and in us.
The glory.
So this plainly tells us God's view on pain and suffering. That everything we're going through is temporary. That there is glory at the end of that suffering and that pain that you may be going through. Whether it's heartbreak, whether it's a chronic illness, and just like I said, constant mental or physical pain, God will see you through, and He is capable of taking all of your pain away.
Not just a little bit.
All of it.
They say my cup overflows. They didn't even preach on this thing now.
God doesn't desire that we are in pain. God does not want us to suffer. And people think that them suffering is like a sacrifice to, God, and showing that, oh, I'm worthy. You're worthy without pain. You're worthy without suffering. It's okay to say you need help.
Right.
It's okay to take a step back and rest. It's okay to take time off work if you need to get yourself back together mentally.
I did it today.
So, so you have to have, what Babe calls it mental health days.
Hey, Bo.
So, if you have to take a spiritual health day, you need to take a physically health day.
Man. I read on them. MHD, appreciate it, player.
You just need to make sure that you take care of yourself. You only have one body. You only have one mind. And your spirit gets exhausted too. That's why it's key that we do spiritual tune-ups. Like right now at our church, the revivals are going on. I haven't been able to make the last 2 weeks because I've been traveling.
But not physically.
But I've been on the streaming. But well, yeah. So you have to constantly feed your spirit. You have to constantly feed your body. You have to constantly feed your mind. So God is a healer, but we have to allow him to move in and around our lives. So God is willing to heal us, but we try to hold the reins and we fail to give him complete control to heal us.
Get out the way.
Just like it was Reverend Wise, I think last week at church, it was a Hannah who bled out for multiple years in the Bible. And she touched the hem of God's garment because she had faith that he could heal her. And just by touching the hem of his garment, she was healed like instantly. And God felt her faith. That's what made him identify, and say, hey, who touched the hem of my garment?
Right.
That's what God wants to do in our lives. He wants us to all we have to do is just have the faith of a mustard seed, and we can be healed.
You know my favorite part of that story? After God got real gangster on him, he was like, hey, your faith is enough. Go.
Right.
Scoot now.
All right.
He got gangster on him. Like, all right, you got it. Who did that?
Right.
You?
Right.
All right, your faith did that, man.
Yeah.
Scoot now. Go ahead. Don't let the business.
See you later. But that's just one illustration. There's multiple illustrations of God's miracle work within the Bible. So don't get discouraged because the pain seems to be getting worse. It seems to be getting more persistent. You seem to be getting sicker often. You seem to be falling apart. Don't let that break you because you are worthy. Because you are, God's child. And you are a child, you are the apple of his eye and always will be. So, all right, that's my first two topics. Babe, did you have anything before?
Oh, no, I think it's pretty good. You kind of stopped on fun a little bit, but it's cool, though.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good.
All right, babe, we'll finish this out.
Put me on the spot. It's all good,
last
though.
two points.
All right, so point number 3 is chronic pain will eventually break you. So by chronic pain, I mean pain that enables you to do daily things, whether it be mentally or whether it be physically, especially mentally. We try to mask these things with social media. We try to mask these pains that we're going through with the clothes that we buy and the persona that we lead. But internally, man, we're like hurting, and it's important for us to understand that facade, that attempt to cover it up, that Advil you taking, that, whatever it is you're taking to mask the pain and not actually fix the problem, it's only that Band-Aid is going to rip right off.
Right.
All right. And we have to understand that eventually, all right, that pain has to be taken care of at its core. Not the symptom, not the sneeze, not the cough, not the scratchy throat, but the actual thing that is causing it. We have to make sure that we are handling all of our issues, especially our pain, at its source. And we're going to go to Isaiah chapter 66, 9th verse, and it reads, I will not cause pain without allowing something new to be born. All right. So as we continue to attack our core, like the core problem, God awards us by one, identifying it, or rewards us for identifying the problem. And then two, he allows us to see how that problem is like getting in our way of future like endeavors. All right. I know for me, when it comes to like chronic pain, it's all about like internal stuff. All right. And once I was able to identify it, I then understood that like all these years of fighting it and dealing with it and trying to cover it up, it was only hindering me. But once again, I identified it. God allowed me to see like, oh wait, like I can see, light at the end of the tunnel. And on those rough days, I have sometimes, it takes understanding like that core, what the core issue is, even try to fix it. All right. So especially if it's keeping you from being yourself.
Right.
And that's the number one, I guess, characteristic or symptom of something being chronic. Like you can't do your regular stuff. Yeah. Or do things that you always do. All right. Yeah, I know old age is something, but in other stuff, like if you can't even get out of bed in the morning, come on. All right. We got to make sure that we're taking care of the core issue. Take care of the core issue, not necessarily the symptom. Yep. Okay? Because it will crush you. I'm telling you every time it will, until you deal with that core. You may have a day, you may have a week, you may have a year of being able to mask it. Yeah. But eventually it's going to resurface and continue to go over and over again. All right. Also, I want you guys to try something this week when it comes to pain. All right. I'll encourage you to stop trying to push through the pain and mend from the inside out. All right. Now, usually, guys, I'm focusing on the inside. That's my battle. All right. So making sure that you're healed or healing yourself at the core internally first before you can make any outwardly changes. That means your little change, well, not little, your change that the journey that you're on to change is not for everybody to hear. It's not for everybody, because at that point, once you start doing all these announcements, it ain't about you. It's about the appearance of you, or the image of you, and that get you nowhere. Right. All right. Hence Sunday service. I'm just saying. All right. So just be aware of making sure that internally, like 80% of our problems come from internal first. All right. And we have to make sure that we handle things in that manner. All right. So this week, any issue that you have, whether it be with somebody, something, some system, whatever. All right. Try to handle it from the inside out. All right. Just try to look at it like, what is this really about? All right. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Keep going. All right. Also, your body and spirit can only give you so many warnings. All right, before it catches up with you. All right. We have I mean humans, or at least humans in the U.S. We have a need to feel like we are conquering things and we're just pushing through, and what do they say, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and all that kind of stuff. Tell yourself, you gotta take care of you. All right, you gotta take care of you. The image, the money, the influence, all that stuff doesn't matter if you are decaying inside. All right, every other week, every other year, we hear about these people that have all these things that you would think that people love, and we're losing them to things like suicide and drug overdoses and all that kind of stuff. Because on the inside, they're battling with that thing. All right, no matter what anybody says, if you're not right inside, you can have all the money in the world. Yep. All right, and you're gonna struggle the same way. Yep. All right. And anything for number 3? Sure. Sure. Y'all see me? I asked, right? All right, cool. I wish we could upload these bloopers. Be like, you ain't let me talk. I asked. All right. All right. So point number 4.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Point number 4. All right. Point number 4 is God never allows pain without purpose. All right. So when we change our perspective to this mindset, things get so much easier. And once we live with it, and once we walk with it, and once we get into what that actually means, going through things won't be as mentally taxing. Literally, everything on this world has a purpose. All right. And before I get into that, I'm gonna go ahead and take y'all to Psalms 46, 9th verse. And it says, "Be still and know that I am God." I've said this verse so many times. And as hard-headed as I am, the few times that I've listened and the few times that I've been patient enough to just let God be God, God has 100% showed up and showed out. All right, hence, boom. All right. In our pain, we tend to individualize it and like make our pain seem unique to this world. All right. God knows every type of pain that you've been
Yes,
through.
he does.
God has been through it.
Yep.
And he is helping you get through it. But we have to stop separating ourselves when we go through things from, like, we're making our problems so unique that we feel alone in those problems. And God is always with us.
Yes.
100% of the time.
Always there.
Always. I was hurt last week, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. But once I realized that God is with me and he's provided resources for me to use and people for me to kind of help build me back up and all that good stuff. Like, man, like, y'all gotta realize, like, it's crazy out here, all right? But as crazy as it is, God has already been through it. He sacrificed for us, and he's continuing to walk us through. We just have to do our part and let him do his job, all right? My wife said it earlier, we get in the way. God over here trying to help us out, and we just, all in the way. All right, so we got to make sure we are doing our part by making sure that we are standing this word to recognize when we just need to be like, you know what, I've done all I can do at this point. So this is all I can do. God, I need you.
Yep.
Every time he'll come through.
Yep.
All right. Also, making sure that you're aware of what is pain and like what is like God helping you or pushing you in a certain direction. All right. Pain is not, hey, that didn't happen how I want it to happen. Okay. All right. God has a tendency of showing us things, and how our reaction to it kind of determines whether it's pain or not. And that's not necessarily the best practice. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Seek understanding first. All right. Now, that's different with physical. If your leg hurt, your leg hurt.
Right.
All right. Now, if Nuck and Nuke and them get together,
Hey.
then they got to do with you. All right. Just because you got to learn how to control what you control.
Did you just say nut?
Yeah, I did. That the little. I ain't gonna get into that. But we have to understand that we have to control what we can control. And just because things are going the way that we would like them, that is not necessarily pain. All right, that's God being his funny self by letting the world do what it do, by still making sure that we're good. Yeah. And we may miss that because we all in the way. All right. Remember, God is who he is. All right. He's going to do what he's going to do. All right. Also, waking up with pain, folks, internal pain, it's not normal. All right. God's trying to tell you something. God's trying to tell you something. God's trying to help you realize something. Or you really need to get in with God. All right. You need to get in your book or something. All right. Because waking up with a heaviness like that and waking up with just a feeling of like unstableness, that usually is a telltale sign of, hey, look, I done got out here. Let me go back to what got me where I am now. All right. I'm preaching to myself on that one. All right. And lastly, accepting pain within your body is giving up. Pain is not meant to hurt us. Right. All right. Pain is meant to teach us. But at a certain point, if it's pain after pain after pain after negative event after negative event after negative event, it's not normal, guys. All right. We either need to take a step back or take a step forward in a new direction. But pain in itself is not a normal occurrence. All right. Sometimes God allows pain to correct us, and it's pushing us toward a different, path. But if you're waking up in pain every day, mentally or physically, it's not normal. All right. So you gotta let God be God by saying, "Hey, God, help brother out, help us out, please." Okay. Say something. All right. Please. And I ain't talking about Facebook is not Jesus. Facebook is not, who help us. All right. You got to get in your book or just get on your knees and be like, "Hey, player, hey, God, help me out, please. Please, I'm hurting, And hey, I have those talks weekly. All right. And every time, like I said before, he shows up. And what else?
Shows out.
He show up. All right. I can get started. All right. So, yeah, that's it.
All right, we're gonna do
Recap,
quick recap, and then I will pray us out, and we will let you guys go. All right, starting off with the first topic, which was constant pain as a warning.
I like what you did there. Put it at the front and the bottom.
Constant pain is a warning sign that we need to take a step back and kind of reevaluate some things. And get ourselves together mentally, physically, or spiritually. And it's okay to rest. It's okay to admit that you need help. God allowed people to become doctors and therapists, and gave them those gifts to heal. So don't be afraid to use it, or don't think that you're exempt because you're a Christian. Christians need help too. So, all right, moving into point 2, which is God's view on pain. Through Romans 8:18, it clearly said how God views suffering, and that it's only temporary, and that glory is coming in the morning. Just know that God sees your pain, feels your pain,
glory,
and is able to heal you just with a touch of His hand. So just know that God is always with you, although you may not be able to hear Him, although you may not be able to see Him, now feel Him all the time. He's there. So just continue to lean on Him, and He'll guide you through. Going into point 3, chronic pain will eventually break you. It's just like a leaky faucet that drips water slowly but surely, and it causes a leak on the ceiling, and that leak continues to get bigger and bigger over time until it just bursts. That's how chronic pain works in our lives. It can be back pain, it can be mental pain, it can be spiritual pain, but you have to learn to recognize that and to take care of it before it becomes chronic, because you don't want to deal with that pain for the rest of your life. And it's okay to take a step back, and it's okay to say, "Hey, I cannot handle this by myself. I need help." Moving on to point 4, which is God never allows pain without purpose. So when you're going through the pain in your life, it may be physical. You may keep getting injured. You may keep spraining your ankle, and you're like, why? And it's the same ankle over and over again, or it's the same knee that you keep injuring or banging against the sofa or something. Something weird just keeps happening. You're like, what is the purpose behind this? Well, God may be trying to get your attention in a certain area of your life, and He's gonna keep thumping you until you listen and get yourself together.
You better that time I stumped my toe come out of the shower.
Yeah,
that was my 4th time doing that.
We had to go to the emergency room.
We did. I might have chopped my toe off, y'all.
No, we didn't. Anyways, just know that God never allows pain without purpose, and that you are loved, you got this, and you are worthy. So I'll pray us out, and that will be it. All right, God, I would like to thank you for allowing us to get through another work week. I would like to thank you for allowing us to identify our pain, work through our pain, and conquer our pain through you. I ask that you continue to keep us focused on you, that you continue to help us to walk in our destiny and our purpose, and that we realize that pain is never without purpose. I ask that you go with those who are traveling near and far for work or other activities, and that you grant them traveling mercies, and that you bless those in the range of my voice, or those who aren't even listening. I ask that you continue to help us to grow in you, through you, and for you. I ask all these things in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
All right, you guys. We will see you guys next week for week
man.
43.
Yeah, man, shout out to Usual Suspects. 5 and 7 during the COVID. Your boy turned 10 and that thing.
In Sigma.
Shout out, bruh.
Oh boy. Happy Sigma anniversary, babe.
I'll let you boy.
All right.
All right, guys.
Bye, you guys.
See you guys.